I'm very excited. I just got off the phone with a potential new client, and it was their parent, and we were having a really awesome conversation. Well, first, I started the way I start all of my discovery calls is by explaining to the parents that one of my favorite parts of my job is being a positive resource for students and their families. So, if I'm not able to support a student, I love to be able to refer them out to some of my colleagues who might be a better fit. The parent brought up a common issue that I see over and over. And so I'm smiling because it's something that parents think is exclusive to their child, but is so much more common than a lot of people might think. So the parent was saying that their child, she always says that she's ready for the test. She knows she can do it. She's going to be fine. Don't worry, Dad. She says, I read the textbook. I read my notes. I'm ready. And then deep down, he knows, I don't think she's ready, but he doesn't know how to have that conversation with his daughter without there being some kind of explosion. And so at a certain point, like most parents, he just backs off. He's like, okay, fine, you got it, great. But then she goes ahead and she takes the test and she bombs it. And then she's devastated. Dad, I studied. I read the textbook. What happened? Why didn't I get a good grade? And he was like, well, you got to study differently. And then some kind of argument breaks out, or there's just no more conversation on that topic. I kind of chuckled and I said, I know I'm not laughing at you. I'm just kind of chuckling at the situation because it is so common in the academic coaching world. We call that the illusion of mastery. So, because she's familiar with the content after having just read it, she feels like she can master the test. But really, that information hasn't sunk far enough into the long-term memory for her to actually apply that information on the test. The real way to combat this illusion of mastery is to practice what brain scientists call retrieval. And us lay people might just call it testing ourselves. But really, really testing ourselves, not just yeah, sure, I know it. And what I mean by that is opening up your book, opening up your notes, and asking yourself the essential question, closing your book and thinking really thinking hard, going into the depths of your memory. Okay, what is that answer? And then ding, you say it to yourself, and then you open your book and you look, was my answer right? Yeah, hey, I knew that. Okay, we can move on to the next question. Was it wrong? Oh, yeah, I didn't quite get that part. Okay, so let me find a way to learn a little bit more about that topic. And that's essentially what retrieval is. If that's something that a student in your life is struggling with, and do you think they could use an academic coach to help teach them the tools, tips, tricks, and ways to make studying just a little bit less boring? Reach out. I'd love to help. I'd love to be a resource.